Hi, friends. Good evening. Good evening. Happy Monday night. I am going to get started in just a moment. Can you hear me okay? Yes? Okay. I would love for you to grab an oil that brings you relaxation if you have one, and get it by your side, because we're going to start off with a little activity that I hope brings you some comfort and some relaxation. So please get an oil. You're also going to want to make sure that you have paper and a pen with you as well for tonight. So go grab those things. And then when you get back, let me know which oil you have that brings you comfort. Which oil did you grab? All right, so you have an oil, you have a pen, you have some paper. Let me know what you have. Which oil did you choose? I have a bunch of different oils that are sitting here next to me. Lately, I have been using a lot of transformation. So that's definitely one that I brought. Patchouli, that's a great one as well. I love that one. I use that every single morning. All right, ylang ylang. All good ones. Great relaxing oils to use in the evening time, ones that can bring you some peace. Sacred Mountain, that's such a good one. Such a good one. All right. And then I had some messages from some people, but we are just going to get started. So make sure you have that oil that is right next to you. You have that paper, you have that pen or pencil, and we are going to get started. So thank you for joining us here tonight. What we are going to do, what I'm going to discuss this evening, is just an introduction to the Aroma Freedom Technique. The technique itself for a workshop is a little bit of a lengthy one. It takes about an hour and a half. So what I'm going to do tonight, I am going to go over what exactly Aroma Freedom is, what the steps are, what the materials you need are, and I'm also going to let you know about an upcoming workshop that I'm going to be teaching all about a full Aroma Freedom Technique workshop. And I am going to do a little introduction to EFT with you, which is Emotional Freedom Technique. So has anyone here experienced that before? It's also known as tapping, and it is a great emotional release, especially if you are holding on to some things that might be, holding you back. Has anyone ever experienced that before? Let me know if you have, because that's what I'm going to start off this evening with. I am going to start off with an EFT technique, not an AFT technique. So this will be Emotional Freedom Technique. That is amazing. It is going to bring some peace to you. I really think that it's going to be a beautiful way that we can start our evening tonight. So I'm going to get started with that. And if you're just joining us, just all I ask is that you have an oil by your side, any oil that brings you relaxation and peace. Please just have one oil that's by your side. And what we're going to do this evening, we are going to get started with some EFT, and EFT is tapping. So you know that I love to talk about all things emotional freedom. I love to talk about all things trauma release. I'm pretty transparent when I talk about things that I've been through in my past and ways that I have overcome them in a healthy way. So this technique, EFT, also known as Emotional Freedom Technique, is a beautiful technique that works on the meridians that are on your face. And it works really to just kind of release some tension that you have on different places of your body. So what we're going to do is, I think that a couple people might have the wrong link for my Zoom for the Zoom tonight. I don't know what happened. I'm sorry. So what we're going to do, I am going to explain what the different parts are that are on your face. And then we are going to do just a very, very general emotional freedom, a little bit of a release tonight before we get started. So it's not going to be specific to you. It's going to be specific to anyone. It'll be specific to anyone, just on letting go. So that's going to be our message for this evening. It's going to be about letting go. So when we take a look at the meridians that are on your face, when we do tapping points, I'm going to show you a couple different points. So one point, when you do tapping, okay, you're going to just take a finger or two. You're going to put them on these different spots. So one is going to be right between your eyebrows, okay? And you can try this with me. We're not going to do anything, this is just to kind of get that feeling, okay? This is going to be one of the spots. Next spot is going to be right to the side of your eye. And we're going to start with that. It's just going to be one of your eyes. So I'm going to start with my right eye. And then the next time we go around, I'll go on my left eye. So right here next to your eye, that's the next spot. Okay. Third spot, under your eye. Fourth spot, under your nose. Fifth spot, under your chin. Okay. Your sixth spot is going to be on your clavicle, on your shoulder bone, okay, your clavicle. And then your seventh spot is going to be in your armpit. Okay, and those are the spaces that we're going to go down on your body. And then final is a spot that we just call the karate chop. Okay, and that's going to be right here. So I'll go over them once again. Okay, one, right here at your eyebrow, in between your eyebrows. Two, side of your eye. Three, under your eye. Four, under your nose. Five, on your chin. Six, clavicle. Seven, armpit. 8, karate chop. Okay, so those are the 8 points that we're going to go down. We're going to go through those about 5 times. And as we do that, we're going to repeat after me. You're going to repeat after me. Okay, so it's going to be very simple. Like I said, this can be a technique that you can use on anything specific. So right now it's going to be general. It's just going to be about letting go. Our goal right now is to let go of, it can be anything to you. Let go of the day, let go of past trauma, let go of something that someone said to you that really is, that you're still holding on to. It can be letting go of, oh my gosh, just anything right now. Okay. An emotion. Maybe you're working on forgiveness. Maybe you're working on healing. It can be any of the things. Right now, we're going to work on letting go. So we're going to start at the top. And like I said, we're going to go through 5 times. So I'm going to do 1 time. It's going to be on my right side. Okay, next round, it's going to be on my left side. I'm just going to go back and forth. Round 3, right side. Round 4, left side. And then I'm going to end back on my right side. And then when we're all done, we're going to take some time just to take deep breaths and blow out. But I'm going to guide you through the entire thing. If you get lost of where we are, just look at me. Okay, I'm going to make sure that you can see me and where I am. And it's just going to be tapping through those spots. And it's very important right now that you pick up your oil, whatever oil you have near you, that brings you relaxation, that brings you comfort. We're going to start with a little aromatic breath just to get started. Okay, so put some oil in your hand. Rub it around a couple times. Cup your hands over your nose and your mouth. We're going to do 3 deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Okay, you have your aromatic breath. Okay, I want you to take it. I want you to put the oil right behind your ears. I want you to put it right on your brain stem. And we are ready for a transformation. So if you're just joining us, just get an oil that brings you comfort or peace. We just did a little bit of some breathing. And now we're going to get started on doing some emotional freedom technique on the meridians of your face. This is how we're going to get started. And then I'm going to go into just a little introduction of the AFT and exactly what that is. But this is such a healing moment. This is a moment for you to transform whatever yuck you have for that day. So if you are not in a quiet place right now, I really recommend you just go shut yourself in the bathroom for a couple minutes, shut yourself in the closet, just close the door, get a couple moments for yourself right now, okay? Because this is going to be amazing to let it all go. And here we go, okay? So we're gonna start at the beginning, set an intention right now, and I want you to just say, I'm going to let it all go. Say it out loud, I'm going to let it all go. That thing I've been holding on to today, I'm going to let it go right now, in this moment. Now's my time. Let's start at the top. Ready? 2 fingers. Okay, and here we go. Let it go. Repeat after me. Let it go. Let it go. It's okay to let it go. It's okay to let it go. It's okay to let it go. It's safe to let it go. It's safe to let it go. It's safe to let it go. Right now, I am safe. Right now, I am safe. Right now, I am safe. I am safe to let it go. I am safe to let it go. I am safe to let it go. In this moment, I'm letting it all go. In this moment, I am letting it all go. In this moment, I am letting it all go. Just let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go. I am welcoming peace, and I am letting it go. I am welcoming peace, and I'm letting it go. I am welcoming peace, and I'm letting it go. I'm here to let it go. I'm here to let it go. I'm here to let it go. And it's okay to let it go. It's okay to let it go. It's okay to let it go. And I'm safe. In this moment, I am safe. In this moment, I am safe. I am safe to let it go. I am safe to let it go. I am safe to let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go. I'm letting it all go. I'm letting it all go. I'm letting it all go. It feels good to let it go. It feels good to let it go. It feels good to let it go. Right now, I'm letting it all go. Right now, I'm letting it all go. Right now, I'm letting it all go. And that's okay. It's all okay. It's okay to let it go. And it's safe. I'm safe right now in this moment. I'm safe right now in this moment. I'm so safe right now in this moment. And it feels good to be safe. It feels good to be safe. It feels really good to be really safe right now. So I'm just going to let it go. I am just going to let it go. I am just going to let it all go. I'm feeling lighter already. I'm feeling lighter already. I'm feeling lighter already. So I'm just going to take a deep breath. I am going to take a deep breath. I'm going to take a deep, healing breath. I'm going to let it go. I am letting it go. I am letting it go. And that's okay. It's good to let it go. It feels good to let it go. It wasn't mine to hold on to. None of this was mine to hold on to. It wasn't mine to begin with. Now I can let it go. It's safe to let it go. And in this moment, I'm letting it go. Just let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go. Take a deep breath and let it go. Take a big deep breath and let it go. Take a deep cleansing breath and let it go. Let it go. It's safe to let it go. I'm letting it go. It's not mine to hold on to. Now's the time to release. I'm releasing it now. And I'm letting it go. It feels good to let it go. It feels so good to let it go. I feel safer already. In this moment, I feel safer already. In this moment, I feel so safe. It's safe to let it go. It's so safe to let it go. I'm letting go. Now's the time to begin again. For a fresh start. Without holding on. I'm letting go of that pain. And I'm releasing it now. And it feels so good. It feels good to let go. And it's happening now. The fresh start is beginning. And it's happening now. Taking my hand, putting it around my wrist. Hold on tight. Take a deep breath in and out. And in and out. And in and out. Say peace. Now I want you just to concentrate on breathing. You were much. You should feel a calmness, a stillness that's within you. We're going to take that into our evening. Afterwards, I promise that I'm going to email you these steps. I'm also going to email you a diagram along with this technique that we just did. I recommend that you bring this out. You can use this at any time that you're feeling overwhelmed, any time that you're feeling like you're holding on to something that it would serve you to release. And you can just walk through this process. Okay, that only took us about 20 minutes. And how are you feeling right now? Let me know in the comments how you're feeling in this moment. I want you to also, if you feel like you need to get water, you can get a drink of water. You just released a lot out there into the universe. And what Amber had mentioned just beforehand, she had said that bilateral stimulation, which is the tapping that we're doing, that it's used in EMDR, trauma therapy. And that's the bilateral stimulation of both sides of your face, both sides of your brain. It helps the brain to reprocess or reorganize trauma that you have gone through. And she said that it's very cool. So yeah, we're feeling relaxed, right? So relaxed yet energized, right? Because you were able to release what you were holding on to, and that's personal for each and every one of us. And we're going to be able to take this time just to, fill ourselves back up with what we want to replace that with. That's why at the end, I did the part where we did this. It just said peace, just to welcome peace right now. So tonight, I want you to drink some water before bed because you are going to continue to release some of those emotions that you are holding on to. And right now, what I'm going to do, that was EFT. Okay, so that was the Emotional Freedom Technique or tapping. I'm going to explain more about the steps of AFT with you. But like I said, that is a much longer process in which we will do a little bit of a tapping session. And then after that, we go through a very systematic, it's a 12-step process to relieving specific trauma for you in your life. Have any of you done this before? If you have, could you just message in the comments? Let me know about your experience going through AFT, that process at all. I would love to hear and love for some other people to have some testimonies as well. I use this process whenever I feel like I'm having some blocks in my life. Have any of you ever felt like you had some emotional blocks? Maybe felt like there was something that was holding you back? Felt like you knew what you wanted, but you were unsure of how to get there? Or have you felt like you were destined for more, but unsure of what that really is? This is an amazing process that can really pinpoint the trauma that you've been through and something that may seem insignificant as a memory to you, or maybe it's not even conscious. It could just be something that's very subconscious that you're holding onto from your childhood, typically a memory that is holding you back, but it doesn't have to be from childhood. It can be from adulthood as well. I know anytime that I've gone through this process, and I've done it dozens of times now, it has always been from my childhood. And it's been a memory that I thought was, oh my gosh, well, yeah, I remembered that, but I didn't realize it made such an impact on me, and that it was really, holding me back in a mindfulness standpoint, and also just holding me back from going on to the next step of whatever that is, going on to the next step in my relationships, going on to that next step in my professional career, going on to the next step with my family, and just being able to feel more connected to them, even my relationship with myself. So the steps of AFT, the beautiful thing is that most of you are going to have the very necessary oils, okay? So the 3 oils that are non-negotiables that you must have when you want to do AFT are lavender, stress away, and frankincense. Comment in the comments and say, I have all of those if you do, and comment in the comments and say which one you're missing if you don't. So those are the 3 oils that are must-haves, must-have oils in order to do this process, which means that anyone who has a starter kit, you can totally do this, okay? And if you do not have those oils, have no fear. I'm going to give 2 options. The workshop isn't going to be until May, so you can either order those oils and have them, or I can make you little rollers of them for the workshop, and that's fine too. So those are the 3 oils that are must-haves. And then there are a few oils that are optional because you go through this 3 separate times, okay? So I'll let you know the steps, but I just kind of want to let you know what the oils are first, so that we can talk about those. The round 2, so round 1, you would use lavender, stress away, and frankincense. Perfect. So just put that down on your little shopping list. You need at least those 3. And then round 2, they recommend either release oil or inner child. However, you can use one of the first 3 oils too. Okay, one of the first 3 oils is totally fine, but I will let you know a little bit about these 2. Sacred Frank is fine. Mona, you can use Sacred Frank as a substitute. Great question. Release oil is amazing for putting over your liver to help to release emotion, because when we have these negative emotions or these stored up, pent up emotions, especially if you have anger, I'm not asking you to share about, you don't have to share any personal things right now, but I'm just sharing with you that emotions, negative emotions specifically, are stored in our liver. Release oil is amazing to put over your liver, especially if you're noticing that you maybe are more impatient, that you're maybe snapping at your loved ones more frequently, that you are just feeling angry, right? That you can feel like you have a short fuse. Release is a great oil for that. Inner child is amazing for healing your inner child. Okay. It's absolutely incredible. It smells wonderful. And it is so good to just really nourish that child that is still in existence within you. Okay, I'm going to be very real about this right now, because your inner child, we consider that to be someone who existed many years ago in the past, but that energy still exists within you today. So if there are some things that happened many moons ago and you think, oh, well, that happened such a long time ago, I should be over that. Okay, first, be gentle, be kind to yourself. It doesn't always work like that. Just because something happened a long time ago doesn't mean that you should be over it. But it means that you are able to heal and deal with that in a very healthy way. And inner child is a great oil for that. So those are round 2 oils. Okay, and then round 3 oils, here are the 2 oils that are good for that. They are going to be either believe or transformation. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about both of those. Believe is amazing if you are looking to do this process in order to remove a block and move on in a professional way, or to move on towards a very specific goal, like something that you want to achieve. Okay, I used this oil and this process when I was running to hit gold rank with Young Living, because I felt as though something was really holding me back. I felt as though we were so close. Our team was so close. Our team was so close. What was holding me back? What was holding us back? What was holding me back as a leader to get our team to this point? I did this process. I believed it. I went through it authentically. I used Believe oil, and within a month's time, we hit that rank. It was really amazing for me. However, now when I'm doing this, I'm no longer using Believe oil. I'm using Transformation. And I'm going to share a little bit about Transformation with you. So Transformation oil is an incredible oil for anyone who suffers with habits, addiction, addictive tendencies, or who grew up in a household with a parent who had addictive tendencies of any sorts. It is amazing to transform emotions and to transmute energy and to create new energy. Transmute energy means that if you have something that's kind of holding over you, for instance, right now, and I have been for many months, working on the emotion of forgiveness. Can any of you relate? Anybody relate to struggling to forgive? Okay. And that can be forgiveness for yourself, because we are typically hardest on ourselves than we are on anyone else. We say things to ourselves that we would never, ever say to another human being. And that needs to end. Okay. We need to let that go, and be gentle to ourselves. We need to value ourselves, and we need to really be compassionate to ourselves. Because do you know what comes before forgiveness? Do you know what step comes before forgiveness? Self-compassion. If you cannot have self-compassion, you will not be able to forgive. So I'm working on both of those emotions. And I mean, I'm working on them over time, ladies. Like, I have a journal by my bed that is a forgiveness journal that goes step by step, along with a book that I'm reading, which is all about forgiveness, along with Aroma Freedom Technique, along with, I just reached out to someone at my church this week. I reached out to my pastor because I felt like his sermon spoke to me. And I said, hey, do you know somebody who's really good at forgiveness? Like, I am talking to all the people. Okay. So I'm working on this. I have had success with Aroma Freedom Technique, but I'm being very transparent with you, because just because we work through one thing, does that mean that we're like all good to go? Like, hey, I overcame this thing over here, right? Like me, I reached that goal. So now my life is just perfect, right? Is that how it works? No. Like, do we wish it worked that way? Absolutely. It would be so much easier. But it's like you get to digging, and that's why a lot of people stop. Because you get to digging, you go through some really like raw stuff, and then you're like, all right, I'm going to deal with this. And then you deal with it, and you deal with it in a healthy way, and you're like feeling good for a little while, and then something happens and it might trigger you, and that response might come back. But let me just talk to you a little bit about that. Does that mean that you never healed? If something can trigger you after you feel as though you dealt with it in a healthy way, does that mean that you never healed to begin with? No. Think of it like this. Okay, this is perfect image that made me feel a lot better because I've gone through a lot of things and I dealt with them in very healthy ways. And then something will happen like a year later, and I'm like, oh crap, this thing is coming up again. What's happening here? It doesn't mean that I didn't deal with it in a healthy way, or it doesn't mean that I didn't work through it at that point in my life. Think of it like if you broke your leg, right? Okay. You're in a cast, you are bedridden for 12 weeks. You slowly, start to put pressure on it again. Slowly you start to go for walks, and over a long period of time, that leg heals, right? But can something happen, like maybe you're outside and you're playing with your child or your grandchild and you're kicking a soccer ball, right? And maybe you kick it the wrong way, and what happens to your leg? It might not break, right? But it might be a little bit sore, or it might kind of start to hurt a little bit, and then you have to take it easy for a little while. Well, emotional pain and trauma, it's the same exact way. You would never tell someone who broke their leg that, they just have to kind of get back out there. Like, just get back out there. Or, oh, you healed it. It's totally fine now. Like, go and run marathons, or go and live life exactly how you did before. And it doesn't mean that you are handicapped or anything like that for any means, but I'm just saying that you had that trauma occur, just like a physical trauma that you can see, that you can feel. That mental, emotional trauma can leave those fractures. And even though they heal, something can happen down the line to re-aggravate those. So I just want to give you that imagery to know that that is normal and that is okay. And then that's just a starting point for where you have to start to do the work. Okay. I hope that was helpful. I don't know what that image that helped me when I had a doctor share that with me. So those are the oils that you need. And then what happens during a session is you literally, the purpose of this is to retrain your brain to have a different association with that painful memory and to replace it with a pleasant feeling. Seriously. And you do that with essential oils. So how do you do that with essential oils? Well, essential oils, they work with your olfactory system, right? So they work with your sense of smell, and your olfactory system is linked to the limbic portion of your brain, and the limbic portion of your brain stores, anybody know? What does the limbic portion of your brain store? And it works hand in hand with your olfactory system. It stores memories. It stores memories. So it has memories in there. And that is why when you smell something in general, many times we say, oh my gosh, that reminds me of, right? Like, oh, that smell reminds me of, oh my gosh, my grandma's back porch, right? Like whenever I smell mint, I think about my grandma's back screen door that always used to slam because she had all this mint overgrowing right by her back porch. So whenever I smell mint to this day, I think about my grandma's back porch. What's a smell that you have a memory associated with? Share that in the comments. Let me know. It might be, whenever you smell stress away, you go, oh my gosh, this smell just reminds me of something. Whenever I smell it, I think about the beach, probably because there's lime in it. And I used to drink a lot of margaritas by the beach. That might be the reason. But it also, it has a little bit of like something in there. But other people will smell it and it'll remind them of cookies because it has a little bit of vanilla in there. Okay, so what is a smell that you smell and automatically you think of, share that, think about that. And it's because your sense of smell is linked to the memory portion of your brain. Okay, so that is how it goes. So that's literally what you do through this process. You will step by step by step. Step one is setting an intention or a goal. Okay. And that's whatever your goal is of the session. And like I said, it can be achievement based, goal based. It can be healing based. Okay. It can be anything that you want it to be. Step two is going to be your inner voice. It's going to be identifying what does your inner voice tell you about that goal that you just set. And sometimes it's not going to be so nice. Usually it's not going to be so nice. And this is where it's going to be identifying your limiting beliefs. Because in order to grow, you have to identify what is holding you back. Step three is identifying the feelings. So you hear this voice that automatically comes up, okay, and says, I'm not good enough, or it says, you're never going to do that, or it says, you're too dumb, or it says, you're too stupid, or you're too fat, or you're not like her, or you're not like him, or whatever, okay? And then you're going to identify the feelings that are associated with that. Step four, it's going to be body awareness, and then you're going to identify where in your body you feel pain in that moment. Because I believe, and there are many people who believe, that physical ailments have an emotional connection, and emotional feelings have a physical connection or a manifestation. So, for instance, there are many books, amazing books about this. I would have jaw pain, and I still do, like on and off and on and off. It's been good for a while though, but I would have pain in here from clenching, and it would be especially bad at night. My jaw would hurt so bad. That was my pain. And I'm like, well, what is wrong? Like, what is happening, right? And even though I know these things, I'm like, oh, well, maybe I have TMJ, and that's just like what I have. Yeah, but why? Why, right? You don't just like have TMJ. Why? What's happening there? And when I dove deeper and I dove deeper and I dove deeper, does anyone have an idea as to why I was having jaw pain? Or what that pain in your jaw is associated with, if you want to link it to something emotionally? Stress is a good one. Yep, definitely has to do with stress, but it goes even deeper, deeper than that, very specific. Kylene says can't speak. Definitely has to do with that too. Yeah, it's about maybe speaking or not speaking about what needed to be said, clenching teeth. Yes. Yeah, and clenching and that stress in here comes from not speaking your truth. And I go through times, even though I feel like I'm pretty truthful, but there are times when I'm not speaking my truth. And situations, especially when it comes to the situation that I'm dealing with forgiveness specifically, where I'm definitely not speaking my truth. And when I go through those times, I feel, right? I feel it in my jaw. There is a connection to whatever is happening in your body, and it's going to be emotions and vice versa. Like, it's so wild. I share the story about why right when everything happened in March of last year. And um, my husband and I both own our own businesses. We were both told that we had to close our businesses. It was 13 days after opening our physical location. We were unable to file for unemployment. We were unable to file for anything at all, monetary wise during that month. And I remember laying in bed with him and waking up one morning and saying, "Oh my gosh, Steve, my lower back hurts. Like, my lower back never hurts. And I don't even know what I did." And he looked at me, he goes, "My lower back hurts too." And what did we say immediately? We said, "Maybe we need a new mattress." And then when I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? I know that there's something more here because I teach people that there's something more here. So I look it up in my book, and what does it say? Lower back pain is due to feeling uncertain about finances. Seriously. Like, if you really dive deep and get into it, you're going to see that connection. And I share that just because it is crazy and amazing when you look into that, because then you can do the emotional work to help with those physical feelings. Step 5 would be time travel. And that's where we are going to talk about, I'm going to share that with you, Mona. I'm going to share all the books. I have tons of books and I left them all downstairs. I'll put all the names in the email that I send. So just make sure that you put your info on the little document that I send, and I'll send every single book that I use downstairs. I have like 3 of them that I use. So step 5 is time travel, where we look into the future and see how we want things to look rather than maybe how they look right now. Step 6 in the process is smelling essential oils. That's where I walk you through that step by step in smelling the different oils that we talked about. And then step 7 is noticing a change. So you go through this one time, you say, on the little worksheet that I give you, you kind of rate your stuff. Step 4 was body awareness, Kylene. Body awareness. What hurts? Noticing the change in step 7. It is, how do I feel now? Do I feel any different? Do I feel any better? Do I feel any worse? Step 8 is new beliefs emerging. Do I feel any differently about myself? Do I feel any differently about this goal? Step 9, revisiting your goal or intention. Okay, here's the goal or intention. Do I feel more certain about it? Step 10, a new outlook, new attitude. Step 10, 11, and 12 we would do later on in the process. New outlook, new attitude. What have I adopted that's new? Step 11, anchoring your new reality. And that is in making a physical posture that brings you back to knowing that you are strong, to knowing that you are capable. And then step 12 is putting it all into action and just creating an action plan. And you do that through a guided process. Like I said, that process takes about an hour and a half with a little bit of EFT that's mixed in. And I am doing a full session on May 16th, which is a Sunday evening. That's from 7 until 8:30. I picked a Sunday night because I don't know, there's never really a best night of the week to do things for everyone. But I figure that's an hour and a half, maybe stepping into your Monday rather than with lots of anxiety, stepping into your Monday, feeling like you're ready for the week and feeling refreshed and renewed. And for any of you that are here tonight, the cost is just $25. If you need all the oils, it's $50 because it's all the oils with rollers and then shipping as well. And I'll put all that information on the Google Doc too, if you would like to be a part of that workshop. And yeah, and that is really what it is. There is a fantastic book, Aroma Freedom Technique, okay? And this is by Benjamin Purkis. He has a lot of great information that is out there that you could take a look at the book for yourself. I find it really amazing to go. This is all on Zoom, Teresa. I'm going to do it via Zoom like this. If you would like a one-on-one session, we can talk about that. If you would prefer to do a one-on-one session with me in person, we can definitely schedule that as well. And we can do that at my center. So we could definitely do that too. But this is just for Zoom for right now. He does some great work. I have been doing this, like I said, for over 2 years. I love it. I've been studying it. And it is just an amazing technique that you can learn to do and then you can do independently. I do give you follow-up as well, a whole plan that you can work on so that you have a good amount of time to just kind of work on what is specific to you. So what questions do you have based on anything that I went over tonight with the EFT or the AFT? We have just a couple minutes before we move on to the rest of our night. Did you find this helpful? I forgot water and I'm not happy with myself right now. Okay. Are you still feeling good? You still have it, right? And know that you can tap at any time. And even you don't have to do the full 5 rounds, even if you just want to do a round, right? Like say that you're at work and you're super stressed and you have to go to the bathroom. And it really, I walked you through something very general, but you could be very general too, right? I have to let it go. And you can just go through and do your tapping, okay? And all the different points when you're in the bathroom for a couple minutes in the middle of a busy, chaotic day, take a couple minutes for you, whisper those things to yourself, be able to kind of reset. That's just another tool. I feel like I've taught you a lot of breathing techniques in the past. This is something a little bit different. It's on Zoom. Mom, are you asking about the Aroma Freedom Technique in May? It is on Zoom. Yep, it's May 16th from 7 until 8:30. Okay, then what I'm going to share with you, I am going to share the link. Put your info in here so that I promise that I will send you all of the books. I'm like hiding in my bedroom right now because my son is trying to get to sleep. So I need to get all my books in one place still from being in our new home. But I promise you that I will send you the book titles. I will also send you the EFT map so that you can print that out. You can have everything together as well, and you can walk through that process. And I will include the Aroma Freedom Technique book as well so that you can look into that. You can kind of look into the process. I still go to sessions. I do them monthly where I attend them through Grow Workspace, which is an amazing, Young Living community where I get a lot of my trainings from. So I still go to them every month just to kind of get a refresher on all that information for myself. And I promise you that I'll send you all the info. So let me get you this form. Okay, and I'm going to put it in the comments. So it's in the comments right now. Take like 2 minutes and fill that part out. That way, then I have your information. I know if you're interested in doing the full session or not. And most importantly, I can email you directly because I'm not just going to email you without your permission. And I can give you all the books that I was talking about. I think I have 3 different books downstairs that are all phenomenal to look up. Like I said, all those physical parts of your body, that physical awareness, and it links directly to emotions. And then there are even books that give you affirmations that you can use to help strengthen that feeling that you're having, emotion wise or physical wise, to help strengthen that part of your body, which is amazing. It's great. It's very healing. And I look forward to, working with you guys in the future and just seeing you at the next Monday night workshop. I know that Sarah is teaching next week. I cannot believe that it's the end of April already. I was just looking up the date. Next week on the 26th, it is, the topic is the new face of Young Living, because Young Living is going through a couple different upgrades right now, which is really exciting. So that'll be next week. We're just going to kind of go back and forth and explain those things, answer some questions that we have been getting from a lot of you. So we're going to do that next Monday evening, and that is at 8 p.m. And for those of you who are, if anyone is available, we have 3 tickets left to Saturday afternoon for our business and beauty training that we are doing. Message me direct if you are interested in attending. Like I said, we have 3 tickets left and we can get you the discounted price still of only $45 rather than the advertised price if you're on our team. So that is a definite possibility. We have, at least we had 3 tickets left as of, I think, Friday night. So we would love for you to join us. It's going to be a beautiful day together. And for all the rest of you, I hope that you have a wonderful week, and please reach out direct if you have any specific questions from tonight. And I'll be happy to help you with that as well. So I hope that you all have a great evening.